Babe, I feel like our new tagline needs to be, we're on the road again.
Yeah.
So we're on the road again. We still have the same hair color. Nothing has changed in that regard. Guys, we're on the way to Panama City Beach. It is. So we left Chattanooga at 7 a.m., 6:45 a.m., went to Huntsville, Alabama, hooked back up our trailer and put the Jeep on it, obviously, packed up the rest of the things that we had left at our friend Tara and Blake's house, and we're on the way. It's about a 6.5 hour drive, so it says that we'll get there about 3:30. We'll see with stops and everything like that. It might probably be like 4:30, if not 5. Guys, we're here at the Stinger booth. It's the day before Panama City Jeep Show, Jeep Fest starts. It's staging day, Panama City Jeep Jam. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We have some familiar faces here. Most of us are not in work clothes. It's kind of his day off. Guys, today we're figuring many things, but amongst those, this. So we've been traveling with our pods in boxes for probably since Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion last year. We just haven't had the time or really the knowledge in order to install these ourselves. So obviously our friends at Stinger are begrudgingly helping us do it. Just kidding, not just kidding. It's just like, it's difficult. This is very custom application, and the thing is, guys, that once things start getting custom, they don't exactly follow the parameters that the instructions are written for. So we're just gonna have to engineer it. And by we, I mean Robbie and Kevin and Jordan, not moi.
Kevin, you need your rubber. You don't have your rubber.
I know. I'm just trying to.
So we've done a couple drive fits here, guys. So these specific pods, Rob from DS18, was amazing guy. He sent me these pods, right? And then we use the audio control inners. What size are they?
6.5.
6.5. So there's definitely going to be some boom up in here. We've done some dry fits, but the thing is these came with 2-inch clamps because I ordered them like that. My cage is 2-inch DOM, right? Diameter. So we tried here, which is not 2 inches, so that wasn't going to work, but the placement would have been great. We've tried here, but the power tank is in the way. And yeah, we can rotate it down, but then it would be harder to access as far as airing up and airing up. So we nixed that idea. We tried on the bar. Hector, where were you? Goodness, Hector. Long story short, we tried a lot of different placements, and honestly, I kind of got frustrated and gave it up to Marlon to decide. So he's doing Marlon things with Kevin and Marlon things, and they're figuring it out. This is the face of extreme concentration. Go, Kevin, go. Make sure if you're coming to the event to stop by the booth and come say hi to us. The booth does look a little different. Stinger did go through a rebranding, so it's not Stinger Off-Road anymore. It's Stinger. Define your drive.
2-foot wire.
So, mom and dad are fighting. This is dad. This is mom. About the proper way of installing it. So there's proper. There's SEMA install, right? Just has to look nice and maybe sometimes work. No, just kidding, guys. So this is not how it's going to go. Basically, Rob from DS18 has RGB wire. We did not realize that the pods were RGB, so the wire that my friends brought is just speaker wire. So it does the job, but not like the full, the whole experience. So we're just routing it like this because Rob is at lunch and we don't really feel like waiting and going over there. So this is just how it's gonna be. So this one got routed up here. It's temporary. Before you guys come for me in the comments, it's temporary. We are either gonna change it at this event, and by we I mean them, or Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion. All right, so while Jordan is literally putting in all the work right now, let me show you guys. We're gonna update the radio. A lot of you guys have asked, how do you do it? So USB with the proper software. Yes. Where can one find that?
On the website.
On the website. Okay, get that on the website. It's free.
Yes.
All right, so you're gonna go settings. You're gonna go system settings. Am I going too fast? You're gonna go to installer settings. You're gonna type in this password. It's very special. It's 2500 backwards, okay? And you're gonna
0052.
yeah, or that. System update, so we're gonna press this, and there we go. So while we wait, it still says all that. Do not turn off the vehicle. Make sure it's still an accessory. You're obviously doing all of this in accessory. It doesn't have to be on, but accessory, do not turn it off. Do not decide that something you left on the stove is burning. Let the house burn. Just kidding, don't do that. But you guys know what I mean. Leave it alone. Set it and forget it. This is what I mean. That's not a suggestion. Probably not. So the sun is out in force, guys. So we got to flip the hat. Jordan now is, because she's an overachiever, we're here at our truck, the F350, and we are installing a really neat camera.
These posts is where the
Hey, 1 point.
This is lovely, right?
1, 2. Hey, that's my man's. That's my man's. Good job. Woo! I boppy. The calm before the storm, guys. We are here. It is day 1 of the Panama City Jeep Jam. It's Friday. It's about 8:45. Jeeps had to be inside the vendor area if they're going to be on display by 8:30. Of course, we were like 2 or 3 minutes late, but they graciously let us in. And guys, the storm last night, there was a storm of like epic proportions at one point at like 3 or 4 a.m. Huge like thunder and lightning like show outside, and like the walls and the windows vibrated. It woke Hector up and us, of course, and I didn't think my Jeep was gonna be there in the morning, but it was there. Incredibly wet, but Marlon's working on it now while I walk the pup. So that's the vendor area, and this is like, I guess, vendor cars and also VIP parking. So if you purchase the VIP parking pass, you get to park really close to the vendor area and basically avoid the mile walk.
Okay.
So it's tradition, basically, to get hibachi.
Oh, really? So you have the picture from last year then, huh? Oh, you did? Let me see it. Which picture from last year?
We got the same guy.
Oh, yeah.
So what are the odds?
She's live. There you go, huh? A little cash right now, huh? Yeah, there you go, bam. There you go, Kayla. All right, everybody sing happy birthday to Kayla's birthday, huh? Turning 20 and they still got a fake ID, all right. There you go, huh? All right, there you go, huh? Happy birthday
To you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kayla. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah. There you go, Kayla. Why don't you blow that out, make it with? Blow! Stop looking at my shirt. All right, ready? One, two, up. Yeah, ready, up.
It's getting wild.
Okay. There you go. There you go. Happy birthday. 1, 2, 3, bro. Up. Man.
So close.
There you go, bro. That's when the end came out. That's what happened.
That's how he likes it.
Yeah, there you go. Come on, okay, bro. Ready? 1, 2, oh!
Basically hit it.
Oh!
Keep going, keep going. Keep going. Feels good, huh?
Yeah, it does. Now I know why they like to take it down.
You're a champion in ours.
Yes, thank you. All right, thank you very much.
So we're staying in a condo, basically across the street from the beach. It's 3 floors. So our friends from Stinger Off-Road have the first 2 floors, and then we have basically the entire 3rd floor. So real quick, bathroom, walk-in shower right here. This is the door to downstairs. This is the AC. Has like a washer and dryer style small master bedroom. Little, not even little, but kitchen area, full-size fridge, oven, stovetop, sink, pool table. This is like a bunk bed, but even this bed is like a queen size bed. Guys, we've been doing laundry. I've been doing laundry for the last like 3 days. Literally 2 loads a day. This is about 2 weeks worth of not washing our clothes. So now I'm all up to date. So like I said, pool table, and then it has this really cool porch here. And then let me see if I can zoom in for you guys. That's the beach between those two buildings. And we do have a pool. It's over there. So Chuck and Mason lent us one cover. I don't think I grabbed another one. So my sea should be pretty dry. Sunday morning, guys, and the weather, we were blessed yesterday that it held off literally until 6 p.m. until we were leaving. The show was until 6, but today, guys, the storm is back with a vengeance, where it's made it here. It just came across Texas, and a couple people were talking that it's killed 4 people. It brought down an frame power line situation. So this is a state park where we're at. I think it's called Aaron Bassett Park. So once there's thunder, we have to wait 30 minutes. No one's legally allowed to be on the property. So as vendors, we're able to come in and just make sure that our merch is secured, the tent is strapped down, because the winds are going to get nasty. So yesterday, this was dropped a level, made sure everything was pretty much secure. There's Hector, but we're going to be moving all the Stinger stuff into the Jeepers Den, I would say block party here. They have their sides down, and all their merch is now more or less secured. You'll see the other vendors basically pretty much did the same thing. It's a ghost town.
Goodbye.
It really sucks, guys, because this is such a great event. Jamie Carr, he puts this together, obviously with help of like a ton of people, but this is his show, and he's such a great guy. It sucks that this is basically just what it is, right? So the show typically starts at 9 a.m. They sent out a blast email, called all the vendors to let us know that we are not allowed to come to the park until noon. It's going to be storming until like about 11. We have to wait 30 minutes from the last lightning and thunder situation. So about 1 p.m. they're going to start letting the public in. This show is only until 5 though today. So from 1 to 5, that's basically the time that we're going to get today. So while everyone packs up, we're playing fetch with Hector. Hector. Taser, guys. Who has a taser? Fly. Hector's over the rain.
Where's that going? Sideways? Likes the rag You're like, it's fine.
It'll be fine. 2. Okay. Or we're getting divorced. 1, 2, 3, 4. All the way. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Come on. 10. One more. Yes. What's up, guys? 4 days away from the Off-Road and Chill experience plus Bleeping Jeep fan ride, guys. It starts technically Thursday is when we're going to be arriving. Wheeling starts Friday. We are super excited to see you guys. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure that you download onX Off-Road. They have fantastic maps for all of Windrock Park. Make sure you either use our code or click the link that I'll tag or I'll put up there in the description to take you directly to it. There is a free membership, and then you could, as always, sign up for the Elite membership, which is going to have a bunch of goodies and discounts from manufacturers that we all know and love. See you guys in 4 days. I swallowed a bug. We made it, guys. We made it to Huntsville, Alabama. We left Panama City Beach area about like 11 o'clock in the morning, so we got a late start. Finally made it here. This south has a lot of bugs, I'm starting to realize, or come to accept. So we're hanging out here with our friends Taryn and Blake where we stayed last week before the show, and tomorrow morning, super early, we're gonna head out to Tom's 4x4 in Chattanooga. It is time, guys. It is time to finally fix the rear axle in my Jeep. So a couple of you have mentioned the cicadas in the background noise when I film at Taryn and Blake's house. Check this. Don't touch it, Taryn. Taryn!
It doesn't do anything.
No!
Oh, I think I just murdered him on film.
Oh, he's alive. He's alive. No bugs were harmed in the making of this video. See?
It's a cicada.
Can you guys see all the flying insects up there? That's at the top of this
Oh, just
big
look
tree.
at the pine.
Those are all cicadas. Like thousands. That big one's a bird. Another thing to note is that I was checking all the tracking on the 3 parts that we need to fix the rear of my Jeep, and the locker is lost. So yay to FedEx for losing my locker. That's honestly been the only part that we've been waiting on for the last 2 weeks. So we got the ring gear and the master rebuild kit or master install kit. Companies call it something different, whatever, but those 2 things, we got it. It was the locker that we're waiting on because the e-locker and the spider gears is kind of like the assembly is one thing, right? And so there weren't any anywhere, and Dana was producing them, and so we were waiting for that. But then Nick, our awesome friend Nick at Dana, found one. I don't really know where because I don't ask questions. I don't look a gift horse in the mouth. He found one, shipped it to Tom's 4x4, but FedEx lost it. This is actually my first time having a package lost, believe it or not. I'm 30 and I guess it was about time, but I really kind of sort of need this package. So I'm hoping FedEx gets its situation together and finds my stuff. Okay, so I don't know, oh my goodness, I was screaming and then he stopped with the blower. So Marlon is taking his job as a friend very seriously. He's helping blow all the leaves into their new home, aka the forest. So we're back in Chattanooga. We're picking up one of our Jeeps, our JKU. This is Marlon's OG Jeep. He started a channel with this Jeep. Lots of mudding. It's on its 2nd engine. It has a snorkel. So it does have a flat. We've known that for a while. Our replacement's in there, so Marlon is just airing up enough to get it on the trailer, and it should be enough. So we had tires in the front of the trailer, but obviously we pushed them forward. We moved the 2-door up, and then the 4-door will fit back there, and we are on our way to our friend's house. So we're gonna be staying with our friends Nick and Becky again. We stayed here last time we were in Chattanooga because we have to go to Tom's 4x4. Guys, if I tell you the situation that has been going on with my locker, you guys are not gonna believe me. I was on the phone this morning with FedEx, probably an hour and a half. First called the 1-800 number, obviously got someone in a different country, which is sometimes frustrating because of the language barrier. They can't really understand me, I can't really understand them, but we did our best. Finally, they told me that since I was only this recipient, I had to get the shipper involved. Well, the shipper is the distribution plant, one of Dana's distribution plants. So I'm really not able to get in touch with them. So I called the Chattanooga hub of FedEx, which is where the package was last scanned. They proceeded to tell me that they were the last ones with hands on the package, but that it was an empty box. There was a hole in it. I guess with all the storms blowing through the east, the box got wet. The locker's 35 pounds. It slipped out and they received an empty box. So they're basically claiming that the shipper is going to have to submit a claim to get a refund. But that's not here nor there. That doesn't really help me with my situation, was the fact that I still don't have a locker. So Marlon's JK definitely needs major TLC. If you guys remember that grill that it has on right now, that's my old grill that was on my Jeep before I went to the JKL conversion grill. It has a bunch of weird noises, has a flat obviously. Thing has been through the ringer, but hopefully once we get it back to Utah, I think you can hear it every time the tire goes over the where it's plugged. It lets out a lot of air. But anyways, hopefully once we get it back home to Hurricane in the middle of June, we can definitely start tearing it apart and giving it much needed TLC. All the rigs do, honestly. They all need TLC. We have been going really hard, you know, pushing them to the limits, and it's time to take them apart one by one, not all of them at the same time because that would be crazy. So one by one, take them apart and just give them a once over, refresh anything that needs to be refreshed because it's been a while and it's necessary at this point. We're on the way to our storage unit to turn on the crawler hauler for the first time in like
Few months.
like 4 months, something like that. So we have our very high powered jumper that was like $700 at Napa or whatever it was. So let's hope it's enough to jump it. So a couple days ago, we realized that we forgot these keys that you see here. We forgot them in Utah. We packed them up in the move, took them to Utah, completely forgot about it. We remembered a couple days ago, we were like, well, where are the crawler hauler keys? I think Marlon brought it up and I was like, I remembered it was on this Milwaukee chain and I was like, I think I saw that in the new junk drawer at the new house. And so it just so happens that her friend Taryn was visiting Hurricane last week. She went to our house, grabbed it, and flew back with them. So shout out to Taryn. Thank you for bringing us our keys. Let's check. There could be a miracle. No miracle for us today. So before we turn this on, guys, this is what it looks like from the driver's seat of our crawler hauler. It is a Freightliner. 1992, so everything is, I mean, now we consider it outdated, but once upon a time, it was not. So, Crawly Holly, as I like to call it, definitely needs TLC. We haven't done really anything to it since we bought it, besides the banner. That adds 5 horsepower for sure, right off the bat. It has a lot of knickknacks that we don't really know about because it didn't come with a manual, obviously. But it does have air ride seats and air brakes, so it's definitely interesting to drive. I've driven it for about 100 feet. This is more or less Marlon's job to drive it.
Needs to get charged just a little bit more.
If you guys have been following along, you might have heard that probably almost a year ago May, we keep the crawler hauler in storage here in Chattanooga. Both houses that we've lived at in Chattanooga really just didn't have the driveway for it. We either the driveway was too small, and then the second house, it was up a mountain, and the crawler hauler, it was a gravel driveway we were renting, and we couldn't obviously pave it, so the crawler hauler couldn't get up there. We tried, it got stuck, it was sketchy. I'll try to find the clip, and if I find it, I'll insert it here. But so we've kept this thing in storage, in a locked storage with a fence, security, pin pad, the whole nine. We've actually used the company CubeSmart that's here local and just has franchises all over the United States. But anyways, I digress. So this, the situation that happened was a homeless person was living in our crawler hauler. It had been a couple months since we came to check on it, but you know, there's cameras and everything like that. The CubeSmart place said that they had cameras and that everything would be fine. And it was maybe like 3 or 4 months that we hadn't checked on it. So we came about a month before we were going to leave to our next trip to try to, you know, turn it over, start washing the sheets and everything like that, make sure that we had everything that we needed. And that's when we found out that someone was living inside of it. So there's actually a couple batteries down there. I'll show you guys in a minute. So Marlon is switching the positive and the negative to another one of the batteries to see if that helps. But basically, let me continue on with the story time. So when we arrived that day to see our crawler hauler for the first time in a couple months, Marlon noticed, I don't think I was with him, but Marlon noticed that all the windows in the crawler hauler were like they're slidey windows, kind of like bus windows, right? School buses. So they were slid in the up position, so open. And when we are done with the trip and we're not using the crawler hauler, we have a whole shutdown routine in that we make sure both of us verify. One person, so he has his duties, I have mine, and then we'll check each other's just to make sure that we didn't miss anything. So we'd have a checks and balances system. But anyways, I knew for a fact we definitely did not leave 3 windows on one side and 3 windows on the other side open. So this is the fun part, guys. So we immediately we go inside to the CubeSmart like office right there, let them know what's happening. They tell Marlon that they want basically nothing to do with it. They're not going to potentially get hurt, so to call the police. So he had to wait for the police to come, do a whole police report. We gave the officer permission to enter our property, which is the crawler hauler. They went in. No one was found inside, but there were definitely tells that someone was living in there. There were needles, there was feces, urine, wrappers that had gone through all our like non-perishable food. The really big thing is that they ripped this panel and this panel and spliced several wires trying to hot wire the crawler hauler in order to steal it. Guys, this is a 1992 Freightliner, so that means that you basically can't find any of the interior parts anymore. They were either custom made, because like I said, this was a Freightliner, or is a Freightliner chassis that was converted into an RV, so it didn't look like that. An older couple were the ones that transformed this thing. It's actually in a magazine. I'll try to find the magazine here in a second and show you guys what I'm talking about. But either it was custom made or it literally hasn't been produced. It's older than I am, and I'm 30, so this crawler hauler is 32 years old. He's alive! Woo! So you guys, I don't know, we just shut the doors. The AC is blasting, but it is loud in here, right? So I don't know how this is gonna sound for you guys at home. But just to finish up with everything that had happened with the homeless person living in here, CubeSmart did not want to obviously accept any liability. The contract that we signed in order to park and rent a spot, an RV spot from them, said that we held them harmless and yada yada yada. Our insurance took care of it, no problem, guys. It was a comprehensive claim. But when that happened, and also our truck that caught on fire in November, which again, I was driving it by myself at night with Hector. I was driving from Arkansas to Chattanooga after a women's wheeling event. Those two comprehensive claims, that was the only thing we had. We didn't have a speeding ticket. We didn't have, neither one of us had car accidents, thank God. They decided to drop us. So those two acts of God, as they were labeled under the policy, were enough for the company to drop us, which is extremely disappointed. But not only that, put us in a high risk category. I even had to call the Department of Insurance for the state of Tennessee, and the representative that I spoke to, guys, this is like a government employee, right? Said to me that, or local city government, said to me that it would have been easier if I had had a DUI. If I had had a DUI, it would have been easier to find me car insurance than the blacklist that they basically put us on. Which honestly wasn't more than $30,000 and they paid out, to be honest, to fix the crawler hauler, which was just the wiring, and just try to make it look as presentable as possible as far as like those panels that the homeless person ripped out. So it was a really violating feeling to have to know that someone here was sleeping on our mattress, all our new sheets and new mattress and new pillows and everything like that. Obviously we threw everything away and had to start from scratch, and I don't even think we really claimed that. We weren't too concerned about like the bedding and stuff like that and claiming that on the insurance. It was just a couple $100. We were more concerned about the big major things like the panels and the fact that the wiring had to be redone. So all those things were what we submitted to the insurance, not the stuff that I had to buy on Amazon to replace the fact that we didn't want to sleep on what that person slept on. So we're back at Tom's 4x4. First order of business is Marlon went ahead and took this tire, the one that was flat, off. Tyler's gonna help us with the tire machine. He's gonna dismount it, and then they're gonna put it together, and Marlon's gonna go ahead and do the ring. That shouldn't be too long. We have the spare that's inside the JKU. But guys, we are going to open up my rear diff and see what it's looking like. Guys, remember, it broke in Oklahoma. If you haven't seen that video, we'll drop it here. Make sure you watch that so you see how I broke it and on which obstacle. So we broke it in Oklahoma, and we've been waiting basically for ring gear, the master install kit, and the locker. We have everything, but the locker has been basically throughout the entire United States. We still have not received it. FedEx has lost it. They do not want to really take responsibility for it, so we're still waiting on a locker, and I actually don't think we're going to be able to fix it in time for the off-road and chill experience, which starts today. We're supposed to already be at Windrock Park, guys, and obviously it is noon on Thursday today is the 23rd, and we are not there yet. So this is all our stuff, guys. Marlon went to the auto parts and got the gear oil and the drain pan. And now we are going to, by we I mean him, you guys know the drill. It's gonna remove this and hopefully it's not worse than it was before. Does it look shiny?
Doesn't look that bad.
Does it look sparkly?
Nope.
Smells gross. If you guys like the smell of this, I know that some people are partial to it, which it ain't me. I'm not one of those. So fingers crossed he's about to remove the cover, and I really, really hope it's not worse than it was before. So after Oklahoma, we wheeled Choco Loco, did all of Jeep Beach, obviously, which didn't require any wheeling, just simple sand, you know, on the sands, 4 high, nothing crazy. Then we did 2 days at Windrock. Oh no, sorry, we did River Rock one day, 1 day of Windrock, and then 2 days at Harlan, Kentucky in Black Mountain ORV. What's the prognosis? I don't even want to look. Is ignorance still bliss, guys? If I don't know how much more.
Just look at this.
That's the magnet?
Yep. It is full of
Metal. Yikes.
shavings and
Pieces.
pieces as well.
So worse.
Not necessarily.
So these pieces could have been leftover pieces from the first time that we took this apart and Marlon was changing the axle shaft. There was definitely a lot of pieces that we weren't able to get because we didn't have a magnet strong enough. So we did install a magnet actually that broke off the snap-on extended magnet, and they stuck it at the bottom of my diff, and that's kind of just been collecting all that gunk.
Yeah, there's a lot of. All of these is like metal shavings.
Yikes.
Yeah, look at this.
That's not good. So those are chunks.
Yep.
Of what? Who knows? Probably the
there's
bearing.
still like more. All of these, I can feel it.
Careful. You don't
Look at
cut
this.
yourself. So prognosis, not good.
Not good, but not bad.
Oh.
We can hold a little bit more. They have to hold a little bit more. Look at this.